IWC Pilot's Watch Chronograph 41 Edition Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula 1 Team. No joke, that's the name of this watch. Hey buddy, what are you wearing today? Oh, this is the IWC Pilot's Watch Chronograph 41 Edition Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula 1 Team watch. Friendship ended. I think co-branding and collaboration like this are really silly and kind of gross. It's not that marketing doesn't work on me. I have a large crater in my bank account which shows that it really does work on me. But a watch with a longer name or a second brand on the dial, it doesn't make the watch any cooler to me. It usually does the opposite. But collaborations can offer a kind of latitude, a stylistic flexibility. Partnerships provide design freedom, and this watch probably would not exist without this partnership. And this video probably would not exist without my man Paul, who let me borrow this watch. So thank Paul in the comments so we can flatter him into letting me borrow more watches. This Pilot's Watch Chronograph 41, this watch came out in May of 2022 and it was unveiled at the Miami Grand Prix. And then last year in 2023, IWC launched the same watch but with a new and additional strap color, again at the Miami Grand Prix. And that right there is about the extent of my knowledge about Formula 1 races. There are cars, they go fast, people like that. I don't get it, but I respect it. And this has been Sport Talk with Evan, your source for news about grown-ups playing games and getting paid a lot of money for it. Now back to watches, grown-ups wearing anachronistic jewelry and paying a lot of money for it. There's a huge overlap between watches and cars, and I get it. Both live at this intersection of mechanical engineering and visual design, meaning that both can be technically interesting and both can be beautiful. And what about this watch? Beautiful and technically interesting? Maybe. Let's take a closer look and let's start with some facts. This watch, which shall not be named, uses a 41mm titanium case, grade 5 titanium. It's 14.5 millimeters thick. I measure it at 51.3 millimeters long, and it takes 20 millimeter straps, which obviously we're going to talk about. It has 100 meters of water resistance with a screw down crown, and on the rubber strap the whole thing weighs about 108 grams. $8,350 in good old American currency, and it comes with both the Miami pink strap and the comparatively chill and understated green strap. My wrist size is 3.326 times 10 to the negative 5th Miami Grand Prix lap lengths. Obviously, you're doing the math in your head and you're saying, oh, that's about 7 inches or 18 centimeters. Good on you. 41 millimeters is a great size for a chronograph, and I'm really happy to see IWC using the 41 millimeter size more. There are still larger chronographs that IWC makes at about 44 millimeters, and they're fun and they work on my wrist, but this is better for most people. Most people who want to spend $8,000 on a watch branded after a racing team. And so it's not the diameter that might deter people from wearing this, but it's the thickness and the length. Because at 14.5 millimeters thick, this is not slim. And at about 51 millimeters long across the wrist, this is not short either. Honestly, I think the 41 millimeter diameter is a little deceiving. This wears larger than many 41 millimeter watches because of those other two dimensions. It also looks a bit larger because it's all dial. But it is comfortable, and that has a lot to do with the weight. 108 grams for a mechanical chronograph is pretty light, and that's really thanks to the titanium case. Titanium case, but not titanium pushers. These pushers are steel. I actually had 2 people on Instagram message me to tell me that that's the reason they don't like the watch, because the pushers are steel rather than titanium, and that's ridiculous. You are a ridiculous person. Nobody's perfect, but you are less perfect than most people. Sorry, but I'm talking about what this watch is like to wear, so let's get into the straps. Like I said, the watch comes with the Miami pink strap and the green strap. Now Paul, who owns this watch, also bought a black strap, which cost $270. And I can tell Paul doesn't like the Miami pink strap. I can tell that because it's the one strap that's not broken in. And I get it, it's a strong color. It's not going to match many clothes, and shoot, it doesn't even match the rest of the watch. But of course, I love it. And I've mostly been wearing this watch on this Miami pink strap because it's fun, and fun is my primary goal here in the twilight of my life. And it's been mostly a breeze to swap straps. That's because a couple years ago, IWC introduced a new strap change system which I really like. The straps have a button that allow them to release from the spring bars between the lugs. The traditional, normal spring bars. And that's one of the things I really like about this system. Because this watch uses normal spring bars, you can also use any 20mm strap with this watch. See, a lot of strap systems from watch brands use proprietary systems that don't allow other straps to be used, but these IWC watches do. IWC, you do a lot of things I don't like your prices, for example, but I like what you do with straps and bracelets. But one thing that is kind of a bummer with these straps is that the buckles and pins have to be bought separate, because why would you ever want a buckle and pin with your strap? It's not like you're going to try to wear the thing, right? But you can get away with owning just one buckle and one pin for all these straps. It's just pretty damn inconvenient. Inside the watch is the in-house caliber 89385. It's a column wheel chronograph with 46 hours of power reserve, which is surprisingly short for a modern in-house movement. It's nicely decorated and it's got a really snappy feel with a relatively light touch. A much lighter touch is needed here than for something like a Breitling B01 chronograph. The movement has day and date complications and it's laid out like a classic Valjoux 7750 movement. The dial is pretty weird. I guess I'm talking about the color. Black with blue-green everything. Everything is the same shade of bluey green, which I'm almost sure has something to do with either Mercedes-AMG Petronas or Miami. IWC pilot watches don't have a great track record with lume, and this one is both good and bad. The lume is only applied to a few elements, which is dumb, but the lume that's there is surprisingly strong, bright, and pretty long-lasting. And going back to this being a pilot watch, it's kind of strange, a pilot watch made for a partnership with an F1 team. I mean, I know those cars go fast, but not that fast. But then when you look at the chronographs in the current IWC lineup, you've got pilot watches and dress watches and dive watches, and I guess a pilot watch makes the most sense, but still not enough sense, I think. Which is maybe why a few months ago IWC announced its latest F1 watch, Pilot's Watch Performance Chronograph 41 Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula 1 team, a black ceratanium case and a tachometer bezel, which is what most automotive watches have, except most look good. I kid. I mean, not really. It's fine, the bezel just looks too narrow to me. I prefer how this one looks. Cleaner, more simple, maybe less legible because of the colored lume, but I still like this one. And unfortunately, there is still not a normal 41mm titanium pilot chronograph in the IWC lineup. And I mean a watch that looks like this but with white markers. Shouldn't that exist? Maybe even as a partnership? You know what, IWC, I tell you what, if you're game, let's do that. The IWC Pilot's Watch Chronograph 41, you're terrific, super happy, fun watch team. Now that's a collaboration I can get into.